I always went up here to relax, you know, and while the guys were editing or something, and basically I always had a guitar and just a mini disc with a microphone and my book and my pen, so I just sort of started playing. I couldn't force them, but I knew that something would happen, but I never expected that it would be that inspiring. If I was really inspired, I could even write 2 songs in one day, just a couple of hours hanging out up here. And sometimes Mike just sort of stopped by saying, "How are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I have this song, it's not really finished, but if you want to, you can hear it." And he said, "Well, yes, sure." And he just came in and sat down and I just played it to him. It was a very interesting way of working, because whenever I had a new song ready, we just brought the band upstairs and just sat around the table and sort of just, you know, I played the song and they just wrote down the chords and we basically just had it. Sorry that I could not speak. That's the one thing that people have actually said to me when they've listened to the new album, is that, "Wow, your voice has changed a bit." And that has happened all the time when someone's heard it. And I didn't realize before I actually heard one of my songs, one of my old ones, on the radio, and I thought, wow, that's a long time ago. We'll actually do this one more time.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Speak about the pain, you know. We did all the recording of the vocals in the control room.
There are quite a few artists that I've worked with just generally feel more comfortable in there and feel a little bit less exposed.
That was a part of the fact that I never actually got nervous when I mean, when I came over here and I didn't really know. I didn't know Mike, I didn't know, you know, the team, so I was a bit, you know, and yeah, and I walked into the studio and there's this huge room and I thought, where am I gonna stand? Where, you know, just little me and there's, you know, all this room. I just started singing in the control room, really, so everyone had to be really quiet and Mike was just sitting there, and then we just kept the door closed, and sometimes Mike's phone would ring or just the doorbell would just, you have that phone where you just heard a noise, and it's just like, oh no, and just people moving and chairs making sounds and all these things. So yeah, there were a few times where I just couldn't stop laughing. Hope you're happy.
The vocals are probably one of the simplest parts of the recording to actually record. A lot of the songs were written in the studio, and so we'd be working out the speed of the song, the feel of the song, and to do that, Lene would be singing with it. So a lot of the time we were actually doing the vocals at exactly the same time as the band were playing, which made it just a totally natural process.
What seems to have gone out of fashion really is the notion of a band playing together in the studio. It tends not to happen very much these days.
It is kind of unusual these days, and I agree it's great, you know, that when you're playing and it feels quite organic and, you know, everyone is playing together instead of like a lot of the programming and overdubbing that goes on. So a lot of these basic tracks have been done live, which is great. What's going on in your mind?
I have so many great memories. I'm a bit sad, actually, that the album is sort of finished, because I've had such a great time recording it. I said to Mike that when we sort of finished, we had all the songs for this album, I said, well, should we start with the next one? Because you feel there's this good energy going, and it's so inspiring, so you sort of want to keep going, but you know it has to end. You know, you have to make this record and you have to go out and sell it, basically. So studio time is over for now. I wasn't really kidding when I actually said, well, okay, so this is done, let's move on, let's just start another one. You know, it just felt...
There are new songs already.
Yeah, there are new songs already.
Jeez.
Where's Mike, by the way?
Look at this.
Like that.
Yeah.
I've really, really had a laugh. It's a great album, amazing sounding album, and it has been, I think, at least 30% of the time we spent laughing, just for joy, really.
Yeah.
We had such fun doing it.
You know, how can you not enjoy it, and how can you not want to come back?
Another happy one.
Oh! Ah!